Well, once again, we have more white-on-white crime happening in the white community across America. Let's take a look at Black Americans discussing the recent mass shootings happening in white hoods. Check it out.
Every time there's a shooting, and it's a white man, notice the silence around race. When it's a Black man, Latino man, Asian man, that detail comes out front and center before the name's even released. Black male suspect, Hispanic suspect, suspect of Asian descent. They put the race in bold, underlined italics like that's the damn headline itself. But here, 40-year-old suspect. No race, no description, just suspect. That omission is the description. That's the tell. Because if it had been anybody other than a white man, they would have been sure to paint that picture instantly. And that is a dog whistle of white privilege. See, whiteness gets to be faceless, raceless, just an individual, while everybody else gets racialized. The bigger point is that yet another church was shot up. A so-called sanctuary violated again, just like Black churches have been for centuries, targets of white violence. That same political violence that they tried to condemn when it came to CK. Just like mosques, synagogues, and temples too. The cycle keeps repeating because America won't face itself. Now, in America, guns are sacred, whiteness is protected, and non-white lives, expendable.
Yeah, what type of time machine are we living in? Sanctuary in Flames. The Grand Blanc church shooting tragedy provides a gripping and deeply human account of the tragic Grand Blanc church shooting that shook Michigan and the faith community at the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. On a quiet Sunday, worshipers faced unimaginable terror when a gunman from Burton, Michigan carried out a violent attack, leaving multiple injured and the church in flames. This book chronicles the events with clarity, compassion, and insight, bringing readers into the moments with details, timelines, eyewitness accounts, and official reports. Readers will gain a deeper understanding of the response from law enforcement and emergency services, including the coordinated efforts of law enforcement response to church shooting, emergency services, and mass casualty events, and FBI investigation into church shootings. All right, they made a book. But the only weird thing about this is the publication date, September 27th, 2025. This happened today, September 28th, 2025. What type of time machine are we living in? This happened with, what's going on here?
Boy, oh boy, that white on white crime is getting ridiculous, ain't it? Y'all out here mass shooting up y'all own fucking people. What is going on? So here in North Carolina, we got a man that pulled up on a boat, a white gangster, because that's what we're going to call him from here on out. This white gangster pulled up on a whole bunch of people on a Riverside motherfucking bar and let loose on that bitch. And trust and believe, you already know what type of people was up in this bar, because which one of us going to be on the side of the ocean in the middle of the night trying to drink? Exactly. You know it wasn't nothing but white folks up in there. This white on white crime is getting out of hand and we ain't got nothing to do with it. It sucks that y'all can't point the finger at us, don't it? It sucks that y'all can't do shit to us, so now y'all attacking each other. Y'all are actually out here unaliving each other. So who's the problem? Now that y'all don't have us to put the blame on, everybody see exactly who the fuck y'all are. Who we been knew who the fuck y'all are. Who we been seeing this shit. We been knew this. And when I saw mass shooting, I'm like, Lord, please don't tell me they done shot up somebody else's child's school or some shit like that. No! White man pulled up on a group of white folks and let loose in that bitch. And this is not the only one. I've been hearing a lot about y'all mass shooting up each other. Like, what are y'all doing out here? It's because it's in y'all. Y'all are animals. If y'all can't do it to us, y'all gonna start doing it to your own people because y'all can't live without being animals. Y'all can't live without the evil part of yourselves. For some reason, that motherfucker take control more than any part of y'all. Because you're animals. But we're just in here enjoying the show with our popcorn like we've been doing. And y'all keep on acting up because we love it. We love it. We absolutely fucking love it. It's so enjoyable to watch. It's like watching one of the best movies you've ever seen in your life.
White men commit mass shootings to create terror in an attempt to control people the same way they used to use lynchings to try to control people because white culture is white supremacy. Once we start realizing that this violence that white people are perpetuating against the nation is rooted in racism and is a result of basically generational trauma of them attending these lynchings, cutting people's body parts off, setting them on fire, taking photos of it, taking body parts home as souvenirs, and they've literally watched this violence, perpetuated this violence for a really, really long time, and now it's just something that they do. And they're raised up in this environment of violence is the answer. Literally from the moment they open their eyes, they have guns in their hands and they're taught like, oh, somebody breaks into your home, shoot them. Somebody does something to someone you love, shoot them. That's literally what they're taught. And that was something that was taught to them throughout the entire generations. Oh, you don't like black people, you don't think they're equal, they didn't listen to you, kill them, lynch them. Like, that's literally what they've been taught, and they're continuing the cycle of violence because it's in their culture. And the reason why they won't stray away from this being their culture and instead just embracing, being Italian, being German, being French, instead of just embracing the cultures that they come from, they are angry with black people because, one, they took where we came from. We don't know our, lineage. And so instead, we've created a whole new culture surrounding the fact that, we were freed and we are black and we take pride in that. And they want to be able to take pride in being white instead of their culture, when really we are celebrating our culture. We don't know where our roots are from. We can't have, Ethiopian pride because we don't know if we're from there. So instead, we create our own culture, our own food, our own music. We created all these things, and they still want to hold on to just being white. And somehow they can't put the pieces together that there's something different in having pride in being black because there's culture surrounding that. And they don't understand that the reason why you can't be proud for being white is because you're being proud of being a white supremacist. It's literally what your culture is, because there's no other culture surrounding being white. Again, you have Italian heritage, you have, French, German, whatever. You have all of those things that you could take pride in, but instead you're trying to take pride in being white. But yeah, this is something that they really need to completely unlearn, because I think it makes them very, very insecure when they already have roots and things that they can be proud of.
Between today and yesterday, there's been 4 mass shootings in 4 different states. You had a man in North Carolina ride his boat into a waterfront and open fire on a group of people that were enjoying themselves. This person took the lives of 3 people, injuring 8 other people. Then you have another man that runs into a casino, opens fire on a group of people, taking the lives of 2 people. 5 people had to get airlift so their lives could be saved. Then you have another church shooting. This man goes into a church, opens fire on the church. Matter of fact, look at this shit. He wounded 9 people and 1 person lost their life. This is in Michigan, and you can see the church is on fire. They're saying that he also drove his pickup truck into the church. Reports are saying that they killed the shooter. But why would you do some shit like this? Why would you drive your truck into a church and start shooting these people? And as you can see, the church is on fire. And then in New Orleans, you have a shooting on Bourbon Street. You have a woman that lost her life, and 3 people were shot as well. Mind you, this is between yesterday and today. What's going on? Be safe because this shit don't add up. It's starting to seem like a trend. Pay attention.
So not only was there a shooting in Michigan, there was apparently 2 other shootings, mass shootings, in the last 24 hours. So I'm going to say the thing that no one is saying, but we're all thinking. It's inevitable. It's inevitable that one of us watching this even has or will experience a mass shooting in our lifetime in this country. I'm 35 now. I think I was around 8 or 9 when Columbine happened, and I thought, oh, surely that would never happen again. But it was really at Sandy Hook that I kind of was like, oh, this will change everything. Kids, man, everyone's going to get on board with this. And then it didn't happen. And I feel like I should have known then and accepted then that it was never going to change in my lifetime. Hopefully it does for my niece's lifetime. She's only 1 year old, so hopefully that happens. And the saddest part is I am desensitized, but I'm also really way past that. I'm at survivor mode where I'm like, whether I go to a movie theater, grocery store, a church, my apartment building, a mall, I need to start looking at exits and just, preparing myself. And hopefully I survive. That's the kind of mind frame I'm in now. And that is insane. And some of you would say, yeah, they think positive and you can't say things like that. I was totally with you. Honestly, Uvalde really changed my mindset on that. Vegas, like I said, there have been so many that I'm like, yeah, I want to stay positive. I want to do all that. I just think I'm at a point where it's just not going to happen. And I need to kind of just accept this sobering reality and just prepare myself. Because I've been doing all the things, right? I have the thoughts. I have the prayers. I vote. I promote Everytown USA. I donate to them. I go to the rallies and the protests. I've made short films about the topic. So at this point, I'm like, what? It's just like, all right, this is it. All right, this is just how I live. That's fine. It's not fine, but I have to accept it, right? Can't avoid it. You know what the rub is? The rub is it's always mental health. It's always, we gotta look at mental health. And I have bipolar disorder, and I went to a psychiatric hospital last year because I had a bad manic episode. And while I was there, I had to sign a piece of paper that said, you are legally unable to purchase a firearm for the next 5 years. And they looked at me very seriously, like, do you understand that? And I said, absolutely. That's fine. Because statistically, people with mental illnesses like me are twice as likely to use it on themselves than on anyone else. I think we all just need to come to the agreement, finally, that sometimes it's not mental illness. Sometimes it's just angry men. When are we going to start emphasizing it as angry men? Specifically, angry white men. Angry young white men, for the most part. But angry white men with guns. Why can't we all just admit that that is a big part of the problem? That it's not their mental health. They're just angry. So I'm at a point where I'm like, we repeat and rinse and repeat and rinse, and we thought in prayer and legislation, and then we kind of go back to our lives, and then the next one happens, and God, that was really bad, but not as bad as the other one, and then the next one happens. Like, I'm just at a point where I'm like, okay, it's just not going to change. It's like being in love with a narcissist, thinking and hoping that the longer you stay and love them, the more they'll change, and then finally realizing that's not going to happen, and the best thing you can do is look out for yourself. That is a shitty way to think.
When are white people going to realize it's white people? When? It's always y'all. I know nobody is perfect, but for a whole race of people to lead in AR weaponry is crazy. There's something going on within you guys' community. I know you guys like to worry about everybody else but yourselves. You guys like to point the finger back at us instead of looking in the fucking mirror and figuring out what the fuck is going on with y'all. Y'all be worried about what we doing and how loud our music is and if we supposed to be right here and if we're loud over here and doing all this shit. When y'all need to look in the fucking mirror. There's been about 4 to 5 mass shootings in the last month, couple of weeks, honestly. They've all been white. Even when the CK guy got murked off, they thought it was that old white man. He was screaming and saying that he did it. He didn't even do it. And come to find out, he a PDF file. You guys need to start looking within. Start looking within. This is a focused issue on one group of people. Why are you guys so mad? Why are you guys so upset? Why are you guys so angry? You've been privileged your whole lives. There's nothing that you guys can't do, can't go, can't participate in, can't be a part of. You were born with privilege, into privilege. And if you're poor and white, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. That's not our fault. There's something wrong with you because you were born with privilege. You were born with that privilege. Another unaliving by an angry white man. Why are y'all so angry?
America is judged for its past and present sins against the tribe of Judah, the descendants of enslaved Hebrews brought here through the Atlantic slave trade. From slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, mass incarceration, and systemic oppression, America has never repented. The United States continues to elevate guns as idols, woven into the fabric of white American culture. While leaders argue over rights, the right to life for children is trampled daily. The cycle of bloodshed without repentance echoes the words of the prophets. Violence has grown into a rod of wickedness. The land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Ezekiel 7:11-23. America is at a crossroads. It worships guns instead of Yah. It refuses to protect children. It hides its sins against Judah. It allows a false church to sit on stolen covenant. The prophets already warned us. There is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. For over 400 years, white America has built its house on violence. From the genocide of Native people, to the kidnapping and enslavement of Africans, to the bloody expansion across the globe, this nation has never truly confronted its sins. Malcolm X said it best. America's chickens are coming home to roost. And today, we are seeing exactly that. Gun culture in America is not an accident. It is a tradition, as familiar as apple pie. Guns were the tool of conquest, the enforcer of slavery, the guard of Jim Crow, and the shield of white supremacy. White America taught itself that violence was the answer to every problem. They glorified the gun, made it sacred, and passed that belief down through generations. But here's the truth. When you live by violence, you eventually die by it. The same mindset that was once used to control and terrorize others is now being turned inward. White Americans are discovering that the machine they created cannot be contained. Mass shootings, domestic terrorism, and communities ripping each other apart. This is the reflection of their own history staring back at them. For centuries, they ignored the cries of the oppressed, covered up the blood in the soil, and told themselves a lie that they were righteous, chosen, superior. But lies have an expiration date. The world is changing. People everywhere are waking up to the truth. And as that truth shines brighter, the illusion of white innocence crumbles. This is not karma. It is consequence. When a nation refuses to heal, refuses to confess, refuses to repair the damage it has done, the poison seeps back into its own veins. America's greatest threat is not foreign enemies. It is the violence it birthed, raised, and normalized within its own borders. So now, the chickens are home. The sins of yesterday are shaping the chaos of today. And until white America faces its history with honesty, justice, and repentance, the cycle will not end. Tell me what you think about this topic. Hope you find the information in this video informative. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Thanks for watching.